Grahan is a quaint hilltop village, 9 kilometers from the valley of Kasol in Himachal Pradesh. The way there is through an upward winding road with hills of tall pine trees on both sides, crisscrossed by river Bhagwati. An hour-long vertical hike took me, soaked in sweat, to the village of just 40 families nestled up in the hills. I strolled through the paved pathway through the village to go to the famed waterfall deep in the forest at 5 p.m. I would not find a human soul for miles for the next hour and a half. The gushing cold water drowns the calls of the birds and noises of predators. I lived a visual fantasy of mine, sunlight coming in through the sleeve of triangular leaves high up on thin pine branches. I kept this to remind me how happy I was being the sole audience in the theatre of nature. Mansi. Mansi and Nabia with eyes of sapphire are in glass too, schoolmates of Rahul and the other chaps in the so small school of this village. My chocolates couldn't have better recipients. Meet Divyanka and her father. After being wide-eyed at the heavenly interplay of colors from the elements of nature, losing track of time, I was suddenly staring into the pitch-black abyss in front and the outline of dark hills at 8 p.m. I experienced what my friend told the next morning after I narrated my tale was primal fear, the kind that our ancestors experienced millions of years ago. I came down the hill, not like the nursery song at all, on a meter-wide rocky path with no barrier from the abyss, slipping once on the smooth pebbles in the dark. 8 o'clock in the forest. Just the Venus showing in the sky. Dark forest. The snow-capped mountains. And the path dimly lit. It's extremely dark where the trees are. Luckily the path is just well lit enough to tread carefully on the rocks. It's turned scaring me because of the trees. I can't see the path much and everywhere around is pretty dark. Looks like this. Fucking scary. Fucking dark. I met these three caring Grahanites at the foot of the hill, back on the way up after winding down the only 2 food stalls in the middle of hiking trail. Surprised, the gentleman asked how I was there at that time alone. There is no way, he said, I was going to Kasol in the night through the forest which has bears and leopards. I decided to follow them back up the hill. It had only been 5 minutes when the three climbing in front of me suddenly stopped and stood silent. They asked me if I heard anything from below us. I stared in the dark, clueless. The lady with a calm smile asked me to come in front of the high queue. I found a room made of wooden walls with no locks and fell asleep within minutes of hitting the bed. Look whom I met again in the morning. Her face lit up with that smile as she saw me. The father-daughter duo waving goodbye was a sight that made the difficult part of the night turn into an insignificant past. This way back to Kasol is as big a nightmare in dark as it's beautiful in light. Thanks to the 3 wise Grahanites come to see me. I was safe up in the hills.